A disaster that claimed more than 100 lives in Jigawa State on Tuesday. The medical teams at the Federal Medical Center in Nguru and Federal Medical Center in Kudu say they are working around the clock to stabilize the affected persons in their facilities. The Deputy Head of Clinical Services at the FMC Nguru, Dr. Akinwumi Ademola, while speaking to TVC News reporter, revealed that the health conditions of some victims have continued to deteriorate, with over 70% of their bodies severely burned and more than 70 victims currently receiving intensive care at the facility. He explains that despite the challenges, medical teams remain committed to reviving the victims and that the hospital has mobilized additional resources to cope with the influx of patients. Governor Umar Namadi, who visited, said the state government will deploy extra staff and equipment to ensure each patient receives adequate attention. In the meantime, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has sympathized with Jigawa state government and families of victims over the incident that occurred at Taura local government area. The IGP, in a statement by the force spokesman, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, commended efforts of the police personnel and other emergency responders for their swift action in extinguishing the fire, evacuating the victims, and ensuring normalcy is swiftly restored in the area. While praying for the souls of the departed ones, the IGP reassured the general public of robust sensitization programs on the hazardous effects of oil scooping and other similar activities to avoid recurrence of such incident. And in other news, the Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, has revealed that in the last 2 years, the agency has seized 750 tons of illicit drugs in their port. He stated this during the inauguration of the NDLEA Marine Command Headquarters, a facility built and donated by the British government. Senior correspondent Ivy Kanu reports.
The arrival of the dignitaries kick-started the program at Eko Atlantic Victoria Island in Lagos. It's a result of a partnership between the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the British government. For the Director Seaports Operations, this is a dream come true.
The journey to this point was not without its challenges. The land initially allocated for the project overlapped with the properties belonging to Satellite Oil and Gas and Eko Atlantic, which was crucial for access. In the true spirit of corporate social responsibility, such companies generously conceded.
The Deputy High Commissioner justifies the reason for the support, and of course, the NDLEA chairman states that maritime routes have long been exploited by drug traffickers.
We've seen an increase in drug detections, both in Nigeria and in the UK. And so that shows us two things. Firstly, that there is a clear need for us to work together to tackle drug trafficking. But it also shows that our efforts are paying dividends.
We have had at least 4 trafficking cases in the last 2 years involving merchant ships, personal vessels, including luxury yachts, modified pump boats, and fishing trawlers are also being employed in this growing drug trade.
Governor of Lagos State couldn't have been happier, as he believes this will check infiltration of illicit drugs into the country.
As we celebrate this achievement, we must not lose sight of the devastating impact drug abuse has on individuals, families, and communities. We must continue to work together on education, prevention, and rehabilitation.
For the NDLEA, this is a partnership worth every penny as the British government hands over the maritime headquarters. With the lowering of the British flag and the hoisting of Nigerian flag and NDLEA flag marks a collaboration that is working, as they intend to hand over a clinic to NDLEA next week. The Maritime Intelligence Unit embarked on simulation exercise by the NDLEA divers to the delight of the guests. Ivy Khan, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Buba Marwa, is scheduled to appear before the House of Representatives next Tuesday to address the killing of a 2-year-old boy and the shooting of another by NDLEA officials. The Committee on Public Petitions summoned Mr. Marwa after its maiden sitting on a petition by the father of the victims. National Assembly correspondent Jigawa reports.
On the 13th of July 2023, tragedy hit the Omoria family in Asaba Delta State. The 2 children of the family were hit by bullets fired by NDLEA officials in pursuit of suspected drug barons. 2-year-old Onosereba, who had just returned from school, died a few hours later after being hit by a bullet, while his 1-year-old brother suffered severe eye damage.
So where did the agreement for 25 million came in?
The parents of the victim, accompanied by their counsel, are appearing before the committee to seek justice. Despite perceived efforts by the agency to settle out of court, the petitioner claims the agency has abandoned them and is now seeking 2 billion naira in compensation. But the agency's representative told the committee that an agreement had already been reached between the 2 parties, which the petitioner denies.
The agreement was to be signed between the 2, and the agreement has been prepared.
They've been grandstanding and making it look like life does not really matter, and that the destiny of this innocent surviving one that is under serious threat is of no moment.
I am just hearing for the first time now. I am just here, I'm even shocked. Madam, how can we be this? I don't understand.
This agreement that would have been party to it.
I'm just hearing for the first time. It's not about me, it's all about this little child.
The committee was not satisfied with the NDLEA representative submission and insists the chairman must appear before it next Tuesday.
The NDLEA head and boss to appear in person and explain to Nigerians, since this incident took place, the steps he has taken to make sure that this family recovers from the trauma.
The committee also wants the officer believed to have fired the shot to attend the investigative hearing. Moved by the pitiable condition of 2-year-old Eroma Sele, the committee says it will sit every day from next Tuesday and conclude the matter in record time so that the little boy can go for the needed medical care abroad to salvage the second eye. Jigawa, TVC News, Abuja.
Joining me on TVC News now is the counsel to the victims, Matthew Dagase. Mr. Dagase, it's been 15 months since the unfortunate incident. Walk us through the journey to get justice for the Omoria family.
Yes, the incident took place precisely on the 13th day of July 2023. That's about a year and 2 months ago. And immediately that incident happened, and the death of Onosereba happened, and the younger sibling, who had a gunshot to the eye, was advised medically to be flown out of the country for medical attention. Immediate medical attention, that was the word they used, because it was an emergency, to see if they can redeem the deteriorating situation. It was recommended by Eye Foundation Center in Lagos, the best in the country when it comes to eye issues. They said they cannot handle it in this country, that there's a particular university in the States that has the equipment to attend to that situation. NDLEA were very much aware of this recommendation by the medical expert and the medical facility in Lagos, where they were referred to from Federal Medical Center Asaba. A year and 2 months after, a supposed case of emergency of the 1-year-old infant, whose destiny is now seriously under threat, NDLEA ignored with impunity, and they have been playing games and resorting to gimmicks, pretending to be doing something, whether they are doing nothing. An emergency case has been lying fallow for over a year. I don't know what manner of emergency that is anymore. And the eye is deteriorating as we speak. NDLEA is dancing on the predicament of the Omoria family as we speak. They have no intention to do anything to ameliorate the crisis they created in the family. They are not even making any attempt to compensate the family. They want them to live with the trauma. Yes.
Yes, I hear you. You know, in the report that our correspondent filed in from the National Assembly, the House of Representatives is actually stepping in, and they have actually invited the chairman of the NDLEA to appear before the committee handling the matter by Tuesday. You know, what is your take about this, and what are your expectations, really?
We have absolute confidence in the readiness of the House to do justice in this matter. Having withdrawn the civil suit from courts, the House of Rep committee, they are willing and ready. By their commitment yesterday, they have made it very clear that there must be justice in this matter. And we have absolute confidence that they are resolved.
But so far, how much of care has the young boy been able to receive? Because in that video, I saw him being cuddled by his mother, you know, just trying to keep him warm and safe. How much of care has been available?
The much they are able to do here, they are like first aid treatment. The medical facility required for that kind of treatment, as recommended by I Foundation in Lagos, where they were referred to by Federal Medical Center Asaba. There is not much that can be done in the country. They have been doing remedial effort, the parents, at their own cost and expense. NDLEA are committing no penny. They have no interest in doing what they ought to have done to make sure this child is flown out of the country. 1 year after, they are not doing anything. I am sure with the intervention of the National the House of Rep now committee, they will be compelled to do what humanity expects of them, to take responsibility for their action, the reckless acts of their own trigger-happy officers.
To victims in this incident, Matthew Dagese, thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 12.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's now look at other stories. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, is soliciting support of the government at all levels to ensure the success of its Safe Schools initiative aimed at securing schools across all states. IGP Egbetokun made the request at the flag-off Operation Safe Schools Squad in Ekiti State. Represented by the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ajo Jeffrey, the IGP said police personnel are not magicians, but more effective when given relevant information to work with. In his speech, the Governor of Ekiti State, Biodun Yebanji, who was represented by his Special Advisor on Security Matters, retired Brigadier General Ebenezer Ogundano, acknowledged that the initiative will further safeguard schools across the country.
And in line with IGP's novel process to secure our schools from violent criminals, I passionately urge this amazing esteemed consortium of stakeholders in security. This outfit is very functional. In most cases, it is not left to the state that is not understand the concept of it without knowing it.